Joining me is President CII, Mr. Rajiv Memani. Thank you very much. Quite a lot of series of announcements we've seen for the Andhra Pradesh here by tech giants, global organizations, interest from India Inc. How do you think this will shape up the India's economic growth?
I think this is the Partnership Summit has historically been a very, very strong platform. We get great global engagement. There are conversations around policy, around trade, around investments, about how the future looks like. So when you have a convocation like this, and with the kind of global participation that we have had from business, industry and policymakers, and real concretizing of action that happens, I think it's very positive for not only for Andhra, which it for sure is, but also it has a ripple effect right across the country. And also for the domestic investors as well as global policy makers and investors, it gives them a very good perspective of what the Indian priorities are. And in many ways, the state is a great reflection of what the Indian priorities are, and they try and prioritize for what works in that state and the ability to execute those things. And I don't think there's any better example than Andhra in the way they have both helped in conducting this summit, but also articulation of their policies and also effective implementation of getting things done. So whosoever has done MOUs, signed agreements with the state have had a great experience. So I think that in itself is a great testament.
The chief economic advisor recently said that he looks for an upward revision when it comes to the GDP growth number. And Piyush Goyal, Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal, at the opening ceremony of the summit had also spoken about how the numbers could do well, but India needs to focus on a couple of things like deregulation, private sector involvement. What do you have to say about that, especially where the Capex from private sector has not been as enthusiastic as the government has been expecting?
Yeah. No, I completely echo the sentiment that's been said by the Chief Economic Advisor. At other events of CII, we have always maintained that there is a strong likelihood that Indian GDP would be closer to 7%. Yeah, so I think 6.8 to 7%, especially given the first quarter performance, the second quarter performance, and also with the GST reduction that has happened. I think that's also given a fillip to the overall sort of GDP numbers. You're absolutely right. I think the deregulation, the speed at which we deregulate, our ability to forge newer partnerships with different countries, the opening up of sectors which hitherto India was not very strong in, or these are new emerging sectors, the thrust that's been given to manufacturing. I think all those things will create much greater, likelihood that India will be coming closer to 7%, if not 7%, in terms of GDP growth. And finally, I would say, as far as investments are concerned, I think private sector investments were gaining very good momentum last year. And I think the growth, whatever analysis we have done, was quite good. I think they did slow down a little bit towards the initial part of the year. Part of it was, some uncertainty that was created through tariffs. Also, we had an extended monsoon period, and in some cases the approval processes took time. There are also supply chain constraints for a lot of the people who are looking at Capex spend. So the speed and pace at which they want to go is not there. But if we talk to all the CII members, we talk to corporates in general, we look at the balance sheets, they haven't been stronger than what we have seen in the past. They're at their strongest. And the posture is very positive. People are looking at expanding in their existing sectors. Some of them are looking at newer areas for investment. So I think private sector investment is coming. Maybe the speed and the pace, for reasons not entirely in their control, has not been as good, but I think we will see this moving up very rapidly.
7% despite the tariffs.
Yeah, I would say 7% despite or in spite, whatever.
Okay, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.